Jamie, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. First of all, I would like you to address some rumours that are going around Newcastle.
Sorry, mate, what was that?
I need you to address some rumours that are going around Tyneside about you.
And what is that, mate? What's that? What rumours is that?
You're not really in America. See the thumbnail for this video?
Yeah.
You stood in front of a stage. How you doing? All right?
Good, mate. Good. Lovely view here tonight, if you can see. You know, I'm just next to Superstition Mountain. It's fucking really nice out here, mate, near Phoenix, Arizona.
Have you been training?
No worries. 2 seconds. I was just talking to someone inside.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was just someone inside was shouting us, mate.
Can people hear Fergal clearly?
Sorry, mate.
It's just a little bit echoey, but
Is it?
So
Fuck's sake, man. 2 seconds. I'll turn my mic off when you're talking. Hello, Mr. England.
Yeah, that's much better, Fergal. So what have you been up to?
Today I just had like a little look around like a cowboy town and stuff. Earlier today I watched the Fury and Ngannou fight properly because the other day my stream kept breaking up when it was actually live. And then I've just had a look around Phoenix, and I tell you what's mental, Jamie. I'll post a video of it. I've just seen a driverless car, mate.
The what?
A driverless car. So I saw a taxi, right, with no taxi driver. It was just a robot machine driving it.
What, like Kentucky call?
Like, I swear to God, mate. Like, I'll look on my story on Instagram, mate, and I'll post a video of it. Like, there was just a car driving with no driver in it. It was like a taxi.
That is fucking bonkers. So, did you win the Fury fight though? I haven't watched it. I've watched bits of it. Do you think he got beat?
Honestly, mate, like, I watched the fight and I only given Ngannou 2 rounds. Maybe you could give him a third, but like, I don't know if I'm just seeing something different to everybody else. Like, I'm still like, he lost pretty much every round, mate.
Yeah. So there's a question for you there, Fergal, on the screen.
Yeah, what were you saying?
So there's a question for you on the screen.
Eh?
There's a question for you on the screen. Did Fergal meet Cos at Slab City?
Who's Cos? I'm not sure. I might have, but it was Saltire. I'm sure you've been watching me videos. Then, if you saw that I went to Slab City, and yeah, mate, it was kind of amazing. Like going there. I don't know if anyone's ever played Grand Theft Auto 5, but like it pays homage to like Slab City and Salton, like sea retreat and stuff like that. And it really is it's amazing seeing it in real life. So I don't know if anyone's seen me video. It's just next to Slab City. There's like a massive like it's like a massive man-made lake, right? And it fucked the entire ecosystem locally for them making it because basically it was like a luxury retreat for American people to go to, and it was going to be like this upper class thing for everyone from LA to go on the holidays to. And all the salt, they put loads of different types of fish in the lake, and all the salt in the lake, it didn't mix right or something with the local soil and shit like that. And the salt from the lake killed all the local animals. Then all the fish in the lake started to die because of the heat, and it just made like a wretched fucking like pollution sort of smell, and you can't really stay around it for long. Like it, I woke up the next day after being around it with a bad chest.
Someone's asking you, Fergal, is that the lake where the kid died?
Sorry, mate.
Is that the lake where the kid died?
I'm not sure if a kid died there. It was just like it's just a man-made lake. What the like I don't know, like some sort of big consortium decided to make in order to like I don't know, for a tourist attraction, you know what I mean? And it went disastrously wrong. It like killed loads of animals and like gave loads of people cancer and stuff like that. And
I've got
and now it's just like a bohemian artsy sort of thing.
right. I've got a question for you. Obviously, Halloween is like tomorrow, or like in Britain, maybe the day after. It's massive in America, isn't it?
What was that, mate?
Halloween is massive over there.
Aye, yeah, mate. Like today, there's some sort of Mexican holiday going on. So like Halloween definitely is huge over here, mate. Like it's like a big deal. Like um yeah, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I can hear coyotes barking. I haven't seen one. In fact, I think I've seen one today. Might have been an American fox, or it might have been a coyote when we're coming down this big hill. But there was some sort of holiday on today. We went right at the top of this mountain that overlooks Phoenix, Arizona. The view was absolutely beautiful, and there was a lot of Mexican Americans there celebrating one of their holidays. Like there was so many of them there. Like, and I don't actually think it's Halloween. It's something else that's actually today. You know what I mean?
Right. You see worse than coyotes walking about the streets of Middlesbrough, let me tell you.
Aye, I'm actually like a really big fan of coyotes, mate. I think they're really like an intelligent animal. Like, if you look at all the apex predators that have been hunted out of extinction, um, coyotes have never, even though they're probably not really an apex predator, um, they've never ever been. There's been multiple attempts to, to cull them, and they've always like come back stronger. It's like funny because when they feel like the numbers are under threat, they give birth to more numbers. It sounds mad, but say if coyote populations are under threat, a coyote will start having a litter at 16 and stuff like that. Really funny, like.
Just hello, I'm a swinger. I'm not really, but anyway, right. So, do you know when you say coyote, that makes me think of like that thing, you know, the cartoon. Meet me. That's the coyote that chased Roadrunner, wasn't it?
Aye, mate, aye. I've seen loads of roadrunners as well there, mint animals, but coyotes are actually dogs, mate. So,
Hello?
yeah, like you can interbreed wolves, dogs, and coyotes, and even some other animals that you wouldn't think you could interbreed with. So it's a really big species. Like, and I'm a big dog lover. I love dogs, mate. Yeah, even though I don't have one, I've got a soft spot for dogs. So like coyotes, I love them as well. You know what I mean?
That's what I think you should do when you come back, you know, get a dog.
Mate, I've thought about it, and you know what it is. I even tried a probationary thing to like rescue a dog and held on to it for a month or two, but I'm just out on the night time too much. Then I go to the gym through the day, so I'm a little bit too busy. And I
Yeah.
think dogs need a lot of love and attention. They don't like being left in the house by themselves for long periods of time. Do they?
Do you
15
know what?
cats. Wow, wow.
I know that's mental. But do you know what animal absolutely fascinates me is honey badger. Have you studied much of them, Fergal?
I love badgers, but I haven't particularly studied the honey badger. I think that they're all part of like weasels and stuff like that. They're all
Yeah.
part of that big family, like badgers, weasels. There's a couple of other ones. There's that river. Is it a river otter or something? Them things, they're fucking monsters. They take down like jaguars and stuff like that.
I'm going to send you a video after this in about 10 minutes of the honey badger, where they just literally have fights with lions and they eat scorpions and everything. Honestly, they just do not give a shit. But
Oh yes, I have watched them, mate. Now you see it, I have watched them. The honey badger. Yes, yes, I have.
the most curious animal on the planet. Really, really interesting to study.
Uh-huh.
So when you
So
back,
Jamie, I'll ask you, how did you see the Fury and Ngannou fight, and who do you think won?
I haven't. I've just watched the highlights of it. To be honest, mate, like I mean, I was obsessed with boxing until a couple of years back, and like there's a boxing website called BoxRec, and it has the most information on in the planet.
It's really good for getting records up, BoxRec. Aye.
So they contacted my publisher and they said, "Who's that guy who talks about boxing?" They said his knowledge is phenomenal, because that's what I've done since I was a kid, is just study boxing. And to be honest, mate, I fell out of love with it for the last couple of years since I started writing books and all that. And I don't know. I'm too busy writing books and football. Do you know what I mean? Boxing's probably absolutely on its ass since I've been alive, and I can't see anything coming back anytime soon.
I think with boxing, mate, like I'm falling out of love with the sport of boxing, because it's just like so fucked up. Like it's like it's bent, and it's just like it's getting a little bit too commercial and too far away from the art. You know what I mean? And I mean, my thoughts about that Fury and Ngannou fight. I mean, like I say, like I don't know if I'm watching it with like rose tinted glasses or something, but I thought Fury was a well-deserved winner. What's this Mr. England fight was absolute pants, and Usyk will batter Fury if he don't buck up. I mean, I think Fury's massively underestimated Ngannou, to be honest with you. I think that he's come in thinking that Ngannou's going to be shit, and I think he's trained, but he hasn't. You know, there's different, like when you're training for a world title fight, that's a different sort of training. And I think Ngannou's been there and he's been a real threat, and Fury's got a bit of a surprise. But I still think I think there was 2 rounds Fury was hurting, which was like the third, which was just a flash knockdown really, and the 8th. And other than that, I don't think Ngannou won any rounds personally. But like, I just don't know. Like, that's how I saw that fight. How did you see it, Jamie, or did you not see it yet?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to watch it tomorrow. In fact, I've got 5 days off, so I am going to watch it this week. But so when you come back, Fergal, I mean, your channel, like, are you going to start doing like the footballers and the boxers and all that? Because I've got a load of people I can put you in touch with.
I made it would be quite cool, really, to start interviewing some of the boxers and stuff. 2 seconds, Jamie. I'm just going to check on a pizza. I definitely want to start checking up on like doing more of that stuff. But I think sometimes it's like it's hard to get them all on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like big guests all the time. But it would be quite cool if we do that little road trip down to Wakefield and go and see Kell Brook and stuff, mate. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to Wakefield in November. I promise. I've meant to do it for ages, but obviously the film and the documentary is happening, and I obviously I've got a lot of knowledge with the locations, and you know, there's people who told me things and I can't even name them. But so I want to go, and there's about 12 locations from the Paul Sykes at Large documentary. I'm going to do them, and then of course I'm going to do. Do you know what? I'm going to be in London 4 days in December with Alex, and I'm going to do about 100 videos. Do you know? I mean, we were talking about it the other night. This corner of YouTube, it's just like, do you know? I watched something an hour or 2 ago of a dad kissing his son goodbye, and you know, his organs were going to be used, and all this, and I just thought that really puts it into perspective.
Can I just ask you, Jamie, and if it's a little bit dodgy, I don't know. I'm going to skirt around things here because I don't want to sound too bad, and I know you might have talked to people like close to Sykes, so you might have to be careful. But like, all I'll say is like, I'm not a fan of the craze because of certain things what are quite prevalent that I said. Even though they have an interesting and engrossing story and stuff, I'm still like, I can never warm to somebody who has got them sort of stuff lying over them. Have you ever heard similar things about Sykes? Because I have.
So listen, I'm no. All I did is what I read. I watched a documentary, read a book, walked into the story, met all the characters, and I'm going to tell you now what people say about Paul Sykes. I do not give a shit. I was just an author. He was a wicked monster. But I'm going to be honest with you. That side. So I've been inside a prison, right? I went to visit his son, and he said, if our dad was here now, he'd openly admit, yeah, I slept with blokes. So about 3 weeks ago, I was with the governor of Hull Prison from that documentary, and I asked him, I've interviewed the chief of West Yorkshire Police about 3 or 4 years ago, and they absolutely despised him. They said, we knew him when we used to have to send the full shift to Wakefield, the old Wood Street Nick, to come and get him. And we knew him when a gush of wind would have blew him over. They said to me, we absolutely despised him. You know, when he was that old, he couldn't do anything other than spit at the officers. He was a horrible, nasty piece of work, even when he was old and dying and all that. But the fact of the matter is, there's no facts, there's no proof. He was never, I repeat, never convicted or even charged with any kind of sexual offence. Was he gay? Was he homosexual? Was he gay for the state? 100%. He would openly admit it. But does that make him a rapist or anything like that? There's just no proof. And if there was, I'd have put it out.
Well, that's interesting, Jamie, because I didn't actually know that it was like admitted that he like sort of swung both ways. And I never knew that, but I just like I just heard.
Sorry. So I've interviewed a lot of people like Eddie Richardson, Chris Lambriano, who spent 3 years next door to him. I have interviewed some really, really serious faces who've done time with him. Alan Lord from the Strange Ways riots, Delroy Showers, Charles Bronson. I mean, a hell of a some really major faces, and none of them said that. Said, look, I knew that part of him. He didn't hide it. But as for raping and all, I mean, that smelly gobshite who talks about me religiously. So his highest viewed video is that. So he talks about 2 meetings with the Lee Duffy. So there was only 2 meetings, right? One was a month before he died. I spoke to the Spenceleys, and I spoke to the man who held Lee when he died, who was there. So they told me that he turned his back on Sykes and laughed and mocked him. And then I interviewed the Screw, one of the Screws, in 1998. So they only ever met twice. But that smelly Billy bullshitter, he invents all these things for views. Do you know what I mean? So I hope I've answered that as honest as I can.
That's the thing, mate. It's a bit fucked up because, like, you know, especially with this YouTube stuff, right? Like, I haven't looked that much into Sykes, but like, I've always like I say, found the story quite interesting, but that's turned us off. Like, you know, that's like a red flag, you know, some of the like the nasty stuff what's said about him. But like, what do you think triggered Sykes into like turning into the fucking, I'm not gonna say monster, but I'm gonna say deranged individual that he ended up being, because he certainly was just like, I don't know, from all the fucking stories I've heard, I've even heard of people like second-hand stories of old boxing coaches about them and stuff. Never first-hand. Like I've never heard first-hand of someone like, or like I seen Paul Sykes do this. It's always like my mate knew Paul Sykes or something, right? If I do hear a story, but like he just sounded like an absolute fucking nutter. Like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest, right? So, I mean, you're right, Mr. England, his dad. His dad, I mean, basically, one of Paul's lifelong friends said to me, he wasn't born, he was created like Frankenstein. So, his mother, I know she kind of portrays on the documentary as like a kind of old, frail, old age pensioner, but she wasn't. She was like, I spoke to his first wife. He had 3 wives, so I went to stay with one of them a couple of times.
Mhm.
And she said his mum was like a man. She had size 9 feet. She used to get the old Lowcox bottles and bring 'em. And I think he was, you know, absolutely disturbed as a young boy, traumatized. I think he had some massive, you know, these days they'd have said it was post-traumatic stress. I think he was mentally ill, although his sister said to me in prison he was tested for everything and he came back 100% sane. I beg to differ. Obviously, this is going back.
I would beg to differ as well, mate. I think
Go
back then
30.
when he was going through the institutions and stuff, like it was a different sort of thing, wasn't it? Or yeah, Jamie's gone for a second, or have I gone?
Sorry, Fergal, I lost you there, mate.
Neither was mate. I think that like, back then it was like the tests or whatever they would have had for insanity would have been fucking very like, I don't know. I reckon like the prison governor could just fucking put it across as whatever he wanted, really, couldn't they? You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I think I put the picture up. So on the start of the documentary, it's a guy who looks like Harold Shipman, and he's got a beard up to here. And I was with him about three weeks ago in London, and I asked him everything, and he said I had Paul Sykes in my prisons for the best part of 20 years. And he said a lot of my employees used to say, if you don't behave, I'm going to put Sykes in with you. But none of, I mean, would you hide that? You know, you're talking, there's no man in the world that would make me hide being attacked. Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of it was bravado. Nick Manners said, you know, obviously Nick knocked him out and he was in prison a couple of times with him. Paddy Maloney was in, if you don't behave, I'm going to put you. He was, to be honest, he had this, he had a name and it was bigger in prison. He was very similar to Lee Duffy. And inside he was like royalty. Everyone wanted to, you know, and I do have it on good authority. I mean, I spoke to Delroy Showers, and obviously Sykes didn't flaunt he was gay or gay for the stay, as he would said. And it's unbelievable, really, because the biggest sentence he ever got was 7 years, and he'd done 5 years of that. So yeah, it's not. I'm nothing against him. It's just not for me. I don't think I could do that if I was doing a life with no parole. But yeah, there's just no factual evidence other than the hearsay you find on YouTube. And I have spoken to some.
I mean, to be fair, because I'm not going to say even this. I'm not even going to mention names, this or that. But there's a lot more than just states where they have their rumours about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's them sort of rumours about, like, I'm not going to say names, but they're out there about a lot of fuckers. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people on this YouTube. And I think the reason that is, I don't think it's because everyone on fucking YouTube's a fucking wronging, right? Or I think in this dark corner of YouTube that me and you are fucking just on the fucking outside of, mate, there fucking is a lot of wrongings. But I think when you get there fucking that level, and we were on about it last time, where everyone's just slinging shit at each other, the fucking, what you call it? Like, the first insults is that the fucking come up with is he's a nonce, he's a fucking this, you know what I mean? It's just fucking, that's why it's so fucking like rife in it, you know what I mean? Why everyone fucking says it.
I didn't know how to deal with it years ago, and that's how I was diagnosed with dyspnea last year, which is a form of anxiety. But I'm so much better now, you can see. But I didn't understand, and so I've had some horrific things said about me I'm gay, I'm into rent boys, I'm a cross dresser, I'm a fat lesbian. That one is true. I do look like you know, like out prison cell book H, which I find that really funny. But do you know what? It's a sign of, I suppose, like it's a sign of success, I suppose. You know, if people want to spend the time talking about you all the day, you know, that moron says I'm obsessed with him. I've never mentioned him ever. He talks about me every day. And all I'll say on that is watch this space, because you know there's going to be charges and and that. Do you know what I mean?
No, mate,
I am
like, I
gonna.
mean, to be fair, like, I know you never try and pull me into like your business, like with
Yeah.
that stuff, and you always, I've just said to me, make your own mind up and stuff, and all the rest of it, and I haven't like researched that individual, but too much, but like just from the outside of what you can see, and I'm not trying to get like too involved here, but you can't fucking you can't work as a fucking buddy for years, taxing people, making loads of money doing that,
Mm.
then start crying when fucking kids start doing stuff to you, like putting your winners out
You
and stuff like that. But
know, the funny thing is, and this is
I,
a fact.
I know people change and stuff like that, and I don't know the full story, but that's just like,
I'll tell you a fact. So I showed a mutual friend we have. So I showed him he had me arrested twice, made a statement. So I passed my bail sheet to the people in Newcastle, so they're seeing it for themselves. So I was proved innocent, and that's that. And you know, the case that's going on, the investigation. I was told 7 weeks ago the outcome of it. It's obviously to do with my wife and my son. At the end of the day, when people start threatening your children and your wife, there's no criminal code in that. So all I'm going to say is I probably cried tears of joy 7 weeks ago, and I'm telling you now, the YouTube community is going to seriously party when this news comes, and make that what
I,
you will.
I can just
But
I can just
yeah,
touch wood, mate. It all gets sorted because, like you say, mate, some
you
of the
know,
shit
there's
what you've been through off
yeah,
all of this, mate, is a fucking
and
disgrace. Like it
so
is,
there's
and
no
I mean,
everything. Got 3 years worth of videos talking about following my son home from cadets, and you know, and that's that. Do you know what I mean? I know what's coming, and I know there'll be a court case, and I know he'll be charged, and I know he'll be like a pedophile, and he'll get an internet ban, and I'll still write books and books and books, but it is taking a while. But it's the CID involved. It's not the small police. So that's that, and yeah, as I said, there'll be a lot of happy people on YouTube when it does come. But
well,
yeah,
mate,
Fergal,
good
get back,
things
mate.
come to those who wait. You know,
Yeah,
like
this is
in like I
3 years.
say, like I'll put it to you straight, mate. Like there's a lot of people I've met off this, and there's only two who I really get along with, and it's you and Anna Conley, who I find genuine. You know, who
Yeah,
I've met face to face, because there's a lot of fucking wannabe fucking clout chasers and all that who fucking think they're Z-list celebrities and all that off this, mate.
yeah, and it is a terrible, terrible shame. You know, 30 years on, you know, you can tell she has a bit about her. She's got a bit of class. She's not like one of these people who just shouts and swears and all that. And no, I'd like to meet her, mate. But you know what, Fergal? When you're back, I want to see you doing videos. As I said, Nick Man is going to come on. Gary Sykes, Junior Witter, Alan Thompson. There's a few, mate. And as I said, you're one of the genuine ones who's never, you know, of course you can fight, but never shout and swear and all this. And you know, I made one bad video last year. When I'm in London, when I'm in London in a couple of, I was going to do another video and then go, not really. I'm
Yeah,
just.
mate. I think to be fair, like I don't know the full story, like I say, but I think what you said's fair enough. I mean, you're getting called out all the time. All you said is let's have a straightener and sort
You
it.
know,
And at the end of the day, it's fucking it's that simple, mate. You know what I mean? Like that's if the other bloke who was involved with it, I don't know what happened in the back and forths, but why doesn't he just go and have a straightener with you and just if he wants to keep talking, you know what I mean?
but do you know, as I said, do you know, I mean, as I said, the last couple of weeks and months, I've spoken to some unbelievable people this year, and I thought, like, for instance, I mean, I'm not doing it because I don't really want to, but I was talking to Kel Brook, and I thought, imagine if he Googles me and finds that I'm going back and forward Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I know there's bad damning, like maybe two or three videos where people have slagged my wife and kids off, and I've reacted or whatever, but there'll never be any again. Do you know what I mean? And as I said, you know what? I don't even follow anyone's channel. Like, I think you can have a look at it.
Fair play, mate. But like I say, you're a fucking cracking writer, so just stick to what you're good at, mate. You know, and just fucking write above all the bullshit.
Yeah,
But
as I said,
I'm gonna have to do a shoot tonight, Jamie, because fucking what you call it? I've got to get my bags packed and all that. Because I'm moving to a different part. Like I'm shifting. You know, a long drive early tomorrow. But what you call it? Thanks for having us on again, mate. And take care, pal. You know what I mean? I can hear coyotes howling in the background. Yeah.
I'm going to put the link for Fergal's 2 channels in the bio. Give him a follow. Making USA Gainz. Fergal, always a pleasure, sir.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We'll do a few more soon, mate. What you doing,
All right.
pal? I'll see you later, mate. Bye.
Bye.